The I love yous we let slide. The phone calls we didn't pick up. The messages we forgot to pass on while we still had the chance to do so. We believe that our words and intentions could have changed things, so we use our words now. We don't let our I love yous slide. We pick the phone up and we forgive ourselves for all the times when we didn't. Every flaw you picked apart inside a mirror, every lie you told yourself about your limitations, every I'm not good enough thought that ever flitted through the recesses of your mind, settling into a place where it mattered. We have to forgive ourselves for not being our own best friends, our own confidants, and our own biggest cheerleaders. We didn't know what a difference it would make to love ourselves until we finally did. Because as much as we'd always like to believe that we are eternally out of the woods now, we are not. We are going to screw up again. We are going to fall down again. We are going to make more huge, inconsolable mistakes that will diminish us. And thank God, the day we stop making mistakes is the day we stop living. We just have to give ourselves the room we need to make them. Every person you should not have trusted, every fun night out that went wrong, every choice that in retrospect should not have been made, except we don't live our lives in retrospect, we live them forward, and we don't get the privilege of knowing if our choices will be right or wrong before we make them. We simply have to do the best we can, try the best we can, and forgive ourselves whenever we are wrong. If we are living life right, we are going to be wrong a whole lot. The semester when life got you down, the year you spent living at home, the months that you wish you could wipe from your mind as times of self-loathing and fear. We all get overwhelmed sometimes. We all forget how to deal. We need these times to regroup, to reflect, to recreate ourselves and figure out where to go next. We are stronger for having gone through these breaks despite what they feel like at the time. We figured out how to bounce back harder. The world is changing quickly. Once upon a time, there really were jobs for undergraduate philosophy majors. We just don't happen to live in that world anymore. But the cool thing about the world we do live in is that it's getting smaller every day. We have less specific career paths when we graduate, but more general opportunity. You'd be shocked at all the ways your useless major still comes handy. You won't end up where you expected, but you may end up somewhere much better. The places you never traveled to, the experiences you didn't have, the person you didn't chase after when they decided to walk away. We have to unclench our palms and let go of every alternate reality where we're happier, stronger, brighter because of all the things we did differently. Those universes don't exist, but ours does. And it's okay here if we open our eyes up and let it be. The person whose words body never fit right with yours, whose thoughts weren't the yin to your yang, whose words never quite sounded right but whom you tried to love despite and all because of it all. The person you tried to get it right with so hard that it felt like your heart was going to give up on beating, but who eventually had to let go. You cannot force love into existence, and letting it bloom somewhere else only makes us all freer in the end. The dream job you never thought you'd quit, the person you didn't think you'd leave, the plans you had for the future that never came to fruition because something else got in the way. Life ebbs and flows, and to keep up with it, we have to do the same. We have to forgive ourselves for having the self-awareness to change our minds about the really big things. You were awful and infuriating and insufferable, and now all of those days are behind you. So perhaps we all grew a little sideways or backwards on the way to growing up, and we said a couple things we didn't mean. Life went on. We all grew from it, and it's never too late to say, I'm sorry.